Yes, good morning and welcome back to the Football Terrace. I hope you're all having beautiful starts to your day. I hope you're in a positive place. I hope you're happy. I hope you're working towards your goals. You might not be, and that's all good in some respects, but just try and find some lights within the dark. Hit that like button for me. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Thank you, by the way, to all of our new members that have subscribed in the last few days. That means a great deal to us here at the Football Terrace. You can join as an official member for as little as 99p by clicking the join button right about now. We're here to talk Jadon Sancho. The end game has begun. There is no doubt about it in my mind. I said it yesterday afternoon. In the remainder of this transfer window, which is about 10 days now, United will make strides. They will attempt to land the player. This has been fairly obvious to any human being with a brain. Fairly obvious to any human being, because United never shut the talks down. Sancho's never shut the talks down. Dortmund, they've said it, but we also know that Dortmund say a lot of things and go against it if the right money is being offered. Big reports that came out last night, been trending since last night, that Man United to submit a final take it or leave it offer for Jadon Sancho next week. And what's really interesting about this is going to be the PR element, because supposedly Man United have offered, this is where journalists are going to find themselves in a certain situation. Should this £90 million bid, 75 up front plus 15 million of add-ons, get accepted, right? There's going to be for me, there's going to be a hell of a lot of journalists with a lot of questions to answer, because a lot of them have said that we've bid more than this in the past. So maybe they were right and now Dortmund crumble. I can't quite see that being the case. I'm so intrigued to see how this plays out. My personal thoughts, though, I have to say this at the top of this piece of content, is this. It isn't enough money. My thought has been all along that Dortmund want £108 million. They'll only accept a bid equating to £108 million. And, of course, the structure needs to be in their favour. This final take it or leave it offer, personally, I don't see it working. I'm intrigued to see whether it does. What I'm intrigued about, if this report is true, that's what we're offering, what's making Woodward think it's going to be acceptable? That's the big question here. What is making Woodward believe that will be accepted? Is it the conversations they've had with the intermediaries? Is it that they think that the closer it gets to deadline day, the more likely it is to go? I don't know what's driving this bid, if indeed this bid in itself is true. You know, there could be a bid, but we could actually be bidding 15, 20 million pound more. This could be a setup by the media in reverse. Maybe we're looking to offer 90 plus 15, right? But the media is going to say, we're 75 plus 15. We know it's actually higher, and then we'll make it higher when it goes through to make it look like Man United lost. Like, that's the PR element here. No doubt about it. Like, it's up in the air. But big questions. Will 75 plus 15 be enough in your opinion? Do you see Manchester United increasing this offer? Or do you see Dortmund succumbing to the offer and accepting it? £90 million in this climate, no fans at football for the remainder of this season, which is highly likely to be the case. What is your view and opinion? That is what I want to know. Do you believe this in any way, shape or form? What I will say, to be a fact, is that the Jadon Sancho news between now and the 5th of October, it will increase exponentially. It will just be a snowball effect from here on in. We, of course, will be reporting on all the major updates and giving you the chance, as ever, to express yourself, to tell us what you think is going on, what you think is going to happen in relation to this situation. But based on the news that's come out today, in my opinion, 75 million plus 15, so 90 million in total, will not be enough to land Jadon Sancho. If we do this, I need answers. I need answers from Woodward. I need answers from Manchester United. What on God's green earth makes you think Dortmund are going to accept this? Equally, if they do, What has the last 3 months been about? What have the media been reporting? The likes of, I tell you, some of the credibles are going to be in trouble. £108 million. It's such an interesting conundrum. It truly is. Let's delve into some more of the articles. The article's quite intriguing. It says Man United will table a £90 million bid. You notice how Man United's bid with add-ons gets called 90 million, but everybody else's, they get the amount before the add-on. Interesting anyway. It says here that United Executive Vice Chairman Ed Woodward will inform Dortmund there will be no negotiating over the fee or structure of the deal. Sancho has been heavily linked with the move to Man United throughout the summer, and although the 5th of October deadline is fast approaching, United chiefs are confident of getting the deal over the line. Now, I want to know, from this journalist point of view, I want to know what makes them confident. That's the bit that's missing from this piece. Why? How? How would you be that confident? Why is there that confidence? That's what I don't get, if I'm being completely honest. That's the element that is confusing to me. Genuinely, it's confusing to me. I don't get that part. What makes them confident? Genuinely. One second here. Is this sound coming through okay? If I'm being completely honest, that's the element that is... Oh, it's not, it's the wrong bloody microphone again. But anyway, okay, cool. That's the one element there for me, first and foremost. It says the German giants claim the deadline for Sancho was the 10th of August, but United are convinced their hefty offer will convince them to sell. Why? Tell us why you think that in the article, first and foremost, because most of us don't at all. It doesn't feel like that way to me. It then goes on to say, every time I go to that part of this article, it jumps back to the top. It says, Woodward is well aware that Sancho is keen for the move, with a contract already agreed in principle, and with the player worth almost, contract worth almost £175,000 per week. Sancho is also excited at the prospect of joining his fellow England stars, Rashford, Maguire, Greenwood. Like, all that sort of stuff is a buy for me. I'm not really worried about it at all. From my element, as I said before, and I'll say again, I just believe you're going to have to offer Dortmund the right amount of money. I cannot see a situation where we get him for £18 million below the asking price, not even as a total. Like, you'd actually get him, 75 million would be the guaranteed amount. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money below the asking price. It's 40 odd million. Do you get where I'm coming from? It's a hell of a lot of money below the asking price. What makes Man United think they can get that done? I'm intrigued to know, genuinely intrigued to know what they think will make that doable. Sorry, 33, not 40 million, sorry, 33 million below the asking price. My maths says I had an extra £10 million. It's 33 million below the asking price. I don't know. I don't know what makes them believe it. Equally, if it does happen at this rate, like I say, maybe that's why, again, the only logic I can apply to this for balance here, before I go into your comments, the only logic for balance I can apply to this is all along United have been informed the longer you leave it, the more likely Dortmund are to accept it for financial reasons. That would be the only logical reason to leave it this long. Also, like, destroys all the other myths that we bid 90+ million up front prior. And all those other rumours get dismissed as being wrong, as an example. But it's all about information. If you go back to what the In the Know Premier League account said, he may actually end up getting the figures slightly wrong in terms of what Man United are going to offer, but the information as a whole could end up being right, that United have been this is where semantics becomes a part of it. If Man United have been told by an intermediary that a bit of X and Y will be accepted, then that almost makes it it's not quite a done deal, but it means something's been agreed in some type of principle. I don't know. Listen, this is what we've seen this summer, all summer. The PR spins, the semantics, the official, unofficial, formal, informal bids. It's all a bit of a mess, really. Like, Arsenal will probably deny that they'd bid anything for Thomas Partey or Usam Aouar. However, you kind of know that they probably have through an intermediary, via an agent, but they can deny it. And this is just stereotypical of the way football has gone. But as ever, I want your views. I want your opinions on this. Bo here with a super chat says, only way that happens is that they know Sancho pushes after the bid is placed. Again, great point, Bo. That's logic. That could be the case. I still don't think it's enough money, if I'm being honest with you. Right now, I don't. But I'm intrigued to understand what makes Man United think that it is. That's the bit to me that stands out. Do me a big favour and hit that like button, hit that share button. Really important to us here at the Football Terrace that we get that done. It really, really is. Need your support there. Loads. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, I'm just reading something here. That's interesting. But there we go. So yeah, I want your views and I want your opinions on that one. Champions Liverpool here says talking absolute nonsense. Listen, bro, I ain't making this up. This is trending in the news, and I want your opinion. If you think the journalist here is talking nonsense, cool. If you think the journalist is talking the truth and you believe Man United are going to make a silly offer like this, tell us that. Just no talking nonsense. Why? Why have you got to be so aggressive this morning, sir? My friend, I love and respect all of my viewers to a certain degree, but you don't need the hate, bro. Terry, 90 million is way too less. They just bid to shush the fans. But that isn't... It's not going to shush the fans, is it, bruv? A bid like that will infuriate the fans. United supporters that I know would rather walk away from the deal and buy somebody else. So let's say we've got 75 million right now. I know United fans would rather walk away from that and go and spend it on Party. Go and spend it on Tellus. There are other options out there. Go and buy Ndidi for that money. Like, there are other options. So it doesn't make sense just to bid money that's going to be rejected, thinking that's going to appease fans. We ain't dumb, bro. That ain't going to appease us. ENOQ here says FIFA should have a rule that disallow a club to charge transfer fees beyond the player's evaluation fee. You can't do that though, my bro, because we live in a free market. We live in a free society, and people, to an extent, are free to pay what they want for a product or a commodity or an asset or an employee. And the more in demand, the true valuation from a consumer point of view of a product, and that's what football players are. They're an asset or they're a product in that regard. It's what the buyer is willing to pay. If my house is worth X, but you want to pay me £100,000 over the asking price, well, if you're willing to pay that, I'm going to accept it. We can't allow governing bodies to start restricting those things. I don't want to live in a society like that, if I'm being honest with you. But I get your point. We're going to do super chats and we're going to do member chats in terms of reading them out. Indiana here says, after all the noise and all the times, surely they're not going to put a bid in unless they know it will be accepted. Indiana, I want to believe that. I want to believe that with every fiber of my being. I just don't trust Woodward, bro. Legit, don't trust Woodward. Never really have, never really will, ever again. So listen, I get where you're coming from, bro, completely. Why the hell would we bid that money if we didn't think it was going to be accepted? Wouldn't it be fun? I'll tell you what would be funny, though, is if it did get accepted. Can you imagine? But that's why this is all about PR. Maybe Man United are going to push that they're getting him for that amount of money. Dortmund are probably going to... This is what will end up happening. Whatever happens, if he stays or goes, the pro-Dortmund people will say we bid not enough money, or if we lost out, and if we get him, they'll say we bid over the odds. United will do the reverse. That's simply what's going to happen. Like, it's, you can bet your bottom dollar that is exactly what will happen in this very situation. There's no doubt about that at all in my mind. Paul here, Paul P, one of my members, says if Dortmund are interested in Zaha, for example, and can remove the sell-on clause, which would make the total Sancho deal higher than 100 million. Well, that's why I tweeted that as a really good point you brought up there. Could Zaha play a part in this? That's the big question, in my view. That is a big question, I think, that could have an impact on this. Man United, I think, have a 25% sell-on clause in the Zaha deal. Actually good business, to be fair. Could there be a situation where they get 15, 20 million pound written off the asking price of Sancho, of Zaha, because Man United removed their 25% sell-on clause? Could that be part of it? Depends how much they're willing to pay for him. Depends how much Crystal Palace is demanding, but they've always wanted a high amount of money in the past, over 50 million pounds. So that could potentially play a part in this deal. Yes. Do I think it will? I don't know. I truly don't know, if I'm being honest, but it could. It certainly could indeed. David here, another one of our member chats. Remember, we always prioritize member chats and super chats. This is Terry, you are a legend. Think United need to give up on Sancho. That's coming from a red. You never walk alone. We need to give up on Sancho if there's no chance of signing him. And that's where you need to trust your board. And that's the problem. Man United fans don't. We do not trust our board. We do not trust them to make the right decisions. We do not trust them to do the right thing by us. I don't think we ever have. And I'm not sure if we ever will. And I'm not even one of these people. I don't even like to sort of be sort of hyperbolic in that way. I just don't think Man United fans are ever going to trust their board. And it's a genuine sad state of affairs that's the case. It really is a sad state of affairs that's the case, but it's how these things are. And it's how things have been for a long, long time. And that's the issue here. We don't believe it can be done. Let's go into a few more of these comments here. Leonardo, another member, says Dortmund signed a winger from Man City yesterday at 16 years of age. Yes, they did. Sancho isn't worth 120 million. That's a load of crap, is what Osman believes. Kennedy, one of our members, says maybe the actual fee will be in the middle of 108 million, like 100 million. From the PR standpoint, it would be a disaster if United fail. Well, it's one of my trains of thought all along that there could be a happy medium, and my price was always around 90 million pounds. It's just hard to know. It's hard to know who to believe and listen, Chelsea got 140 million pound for Hazard, and they tried to play it down. You never quite know if what you're being told is the truth, you know. David here says, Terry, Dortmund have set the asking price, though, so you know what you need to pay. Publicly, they've set that price. That's my point here. I agree with you, David. I agree that they have set a price. They have told us what they want. That's what we have to go and pay. But that's what they've publicly said. As I've just mentioned, Chelsea told us they got 100 million pounds for Hazard. They actually got 144 million. There's always a reason, a rhyme, or a methodology around the PR that you want to spin. If this article this morning of 75 plus 15 is true, there's two outcomes for me. Either the United board are proving again that they are delusional, or they've been told something, that it will work in the final week. And for whatever reason, the final week works and not week 2, it's another matter. I'm just not convinced. I'm just not convinced about the overall arching angle of this bid. Leonardo here says, Borussia Dortmund have signed a 16-year-old forward from Manchester City on a long-term contract. Sporting director Michael Zorc confirmed the arrival. Yes, I did see that. Timothy here says, if you don't sign Sancho, where are your expectations? My expectations to struggle for 4th if we don't get him. Hey, mate, what's your personal opinion? This is a super chat. Says, what's your personal opinion? Will we get him? If we bid the money. Do I think we're going to bid the money? Every day, my belief gets less and less. If we were to suddenly make a few sales, let's say we found a buyer for Lingard, we loaned out Dan James, we got rid of Rojo, then my mind would change again further. I think that's been an element that's held this up. Cedric Levy here says, I was thinking about that last night. The problem is not the Glazers, the problem is the board. The Glazers don't interfere with the edit. Yeah, the problem, Cedric, though, have you seen the Man United board? The majority of the Man United board are the Glazers, bro. They are the Glazers. And the Glazers employ the people to do these transfer negotiations. The Glazers are ultimately culpable for every single problem at Manchester United Football Club. No doubt about it in my mind. Paul P here says, I don't trust the board in any way, shape or form, but there's something in this bid. Why bid a smaller amount knowing the selling club wants more? But the Dortmund need to sell to buy as well. Very interesting. And this is true. I mean, there's so much of this in here. Let's see what happens over the next sort of few days. What's interesting is none of the big European journalists have commented yet, as far as I can see. I've got all their details up on TweetDeck. And there's been no real response from Jan Fjortov, from Christian Falk, from, as far as I can see, from Fabrizio Romano or anybody in relation to this. So I remain, I don't know what the word I want to use here. I can't take Skype calls, people. I'm really sorry, because for whatever reason, YouTube has thrown the Rodecaster Pro mixer out, and that's why you're getting the camera from it does it every now and then when you press go live. As it's loading through, it kind of throws out one mic to another, so I can't take calls. I'm really, really sorry. I wish that I could. I really wish that I could. Comment here says, Terry, I remember when you said you took screenshots of us saying Sancho won't join, and now look. Matteo, look, for me, of course I did, because at the time I thought I believed it. The difference is the screenshots I took were of people saying things like, he doesn't want to join you, he won't ever join you. There's a difference. Sancho wants to join Manchester United. The deals just can't be struck between the two clubs. That's very different from the player not wanting to join. Don't ever try and conflate those two separate lines of banter. They're simply not the same thing. Simply not the same thing at all. And that's when most people attacked Man United. It was like, you ain't getting Sancho, he wouldn't join you. It was never around, you ain't got the money. That's my view. Howard Nurse retweeted something. I don't even know who Howard Nurse even is, bro. Let me go and have a look. Genuinely don't know who that person is. Never heard of it. Okay, he's a digital sports editor. 90 million plus add-ons for the title. For the titles, trophies would be more palatable. What is this about? Oh, okay. Potential needs on salary negotiations. Do you think this? Oh, it's a weird. But that's from the 9th of September, bro. I can't see anything that he's retweeted. Sorry. Has he just retweeted that from what he said before? Okay, cool. Right, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't read too much into that myself, if I'm being honest. That's just my view. I would say don't read too much into it. But there we go. Let's do a few more of your live comments here. Lincoln says, people actually think we are blaming the Glazers too much. No. People don't understand the problem with the Glazers. They look at the fact that Man United has spent big money since Ollie left. And even Gav, who was on from LFC Day Trippers last night, sort of shut down my point that one of the reasons we're struggling to get deals over the line this year is more because of how badly we've negotiated in the past rather than the Glazers. But it's bigger than that. Yes, we've done badly in the last 7 years, so people try and take us for a ride. But we've also hemorrhaged money in that time, which is still on the Glazers because they've employed the people to do this work. And also, it's on the board because they've taken £1.5 billion out of the football club. And like I said before, if we employed the right people to do the football work and hadn't taken a penny out of this football club, we'd have more money now than God. We'd have cash reserves in the hundreds of millions of pounds, and buying players wouldn't be an issue. Like I said, we should have enough money at Manchester United and enough profitability in our organisation where if Liverpool wanted to buy a player, we should be able to just sign them to stop Liverpool. That's how much money we should have as a club. And we should have that much money because we have the biggest fan base in the world. and we've built this up over 100 plus years, but we're being hamstrung by the owners. To not recognise why United fans are annoyed about that is crazy. You know, if you've got £100 million in the bank account and someone takes £50 million away from you, just because I've still got £50 million left doesn't mean I shouldn't be unhappy that someone's taken half my money away. Same difference. Man United fans are not happy because our money's been taken away. We could, without the Glazers at the club, we could have maybe kept Ronaldo. We could have signed some superstars. We could have done so much more than we have done. And whenever we've gone and looked at deals, it's just been too expensive. Even though we've gone crazy with Sancho, Sancho deals, just none of this would be an issue if the Glazers hadn't bought Manchester United. Josh here says, don't need to upgrade the membership now. I am a legend, but did it anyway because you're a legend and this is a top unique channel. Thank you, Josh, for doing that. What we're going to do for the last 5 minutes of this stream, though, as you've just mentioned that through the comments, we're going to go to member chat only for the last the last sort of 5 minutes of this as another thank you out to all of our members. You can become a member by clicking on the join button right about now. That is doable. We'll also share the link. You can upgrade your membership as well. We have 4 tiers to our membership, which include Academy, Squad member, First Team member, and Legend. Let me just share the link now. If you want to sign up to that, it's in the live comment section. I've just posted it there. Be amazing if you could. Let's do another member comment. Let's look at this member comment here from Paul. Says, now it's a big week or so coming up for Man United, and it's important that they get these deals through. You're absolutely right. It's very important that these deals. There we go. Paul said he can't upgrade. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Some people can upgrade, some people can't. I don't quite know. Maybe he's got to cancel and then redo. I don't know how it all kind of works in relation to that, but there we go. Another big ask I've got for some of you out there, I'm going to share the link for this as well, because Man United, we have the Football Terrace has a second channel now, and it's called the Football Terrace Clips, run by myself and a man like KJ. So what I really would like your help and support with, and I'm going to post the link in for that channel as well right about now. I'm going to share that in the comment section below. We're sitting on 1,890 subscribers, and I would love for all of you to, again, I'm posting the link in the live comment section now. Go and subscribe to that channel. Loads of different loads of different clips going up each week from different shows. So you might end up missing some of the shows on the Football Terrace. Lots of the clips are over there right now. We want to try and get that to at least 20,000 subscribers by Christmas. 166,000 here on this platform, so it should be achievable for us. But there we go. Yeah, calling me a spammer, Leonardo. Thank you. Kennedy here says, if the board don't back Ollie getting the right players for his team, he says he can't be held responsible for a poor campaign. Well, exactly. Like I expect Man United to improve on last year with or without signings. In terms of the squad togetherness, we should accumulate more points. But if Arsenal improve and Tottenham improve and Chelsea improve around us because they've bought people, then we will go backwards by standing still. Or our improvement might be not as, if our improvement isn't as great as theirs, we can still go backward in terms of league positions. And that isn't on Ollie, because if things haven't been spent, there's not much that he can do about that. You're absolutely right. Cedric, no, we're not currently using Hot Mic. I've got some conversations with them coming up soon in relation to going back on that platform for watch-alongs. But watch this space on that, essentially. Watch this space. Look at that. So we've got some new subscribers over there on the Football Terrace Clips. It'd be nice to hit 2,000 subs on that today. That'd be very nice indeed. It really would. Come on, get your comments in, people. Get your comments. And we can't only have 3 or 4 members watching right now. Has to be more. Sign up to become a member of the Football Terrace as well. It means a great deal to us here. It truly does. It really does. Was it 20 to 9 in the morning? Maybe bands are asleep. I know most of the other members are asleep. There we go. There we go. Why members if you can't read my comments? Nabil, what do you mean? I can read your comments. As I say, we try to prioritize all member comments and super chats in the general streams. It's just hard sometimes because There's so many. Thank you very much there to man like, I think that's pronounced Shitanyu, who's joined up and become an Academy member of the Football Terrace. Really do appreciate your support in that way. Always means a great deal to us when we get new members. It really, really does. Very, very important for our growth and everything else surrounding the Football Terrace. A massive thank you to yourself right now. Josh here says, if I was Ollie, I'd be fuming at the crappy window this time around, especially after promising signs last season. Yeah, I agree. But what Ollie's doing is perfect. Ollie's not allowing his frustrations to seep over into the dressing room. He's not allowing his frustrations to become public property. That's so important. That's so important indeed that he doesn't do that and doesn't allow himself to become a negative Nelly in the same way that Jose did, because otherwise you're planting doubt into the minds of the players you've got, and you've got to pump them up. Cedric here says, do you think that we will get both Telles and Sancho in the same week? Oh, mate. I pray. I genuinely pray that that happens. Will it? I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know, if I'm being honest with you. I hope so. I truly, truly hope so, but I just don't. There's something about it. You know, like, maybe it's I don't want to allow my hopes to get up and then getting them dashed. United can't deal with more than one deal in a month. Oh, I'd be mad. I think Alex Telles is really close, if I'm being honest. We'll see what happens in the next few hours in relation to that. I think there's going to be some updates this morning that will come through. But there we go. Listen, everyone who's tuned in, thank you very, very much as always. Thank you to our new members, our upgraded members, the super chats, and all of you for watching. Do me a big, big favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button as well. Really important to the Football Terrace. Take care. Goodbye. God bless, and we'll see you all soon.